I'm gonna wait about a minute. Numero uno. 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 Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, no. Oh 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 no. All right. How's everybody's day? Good. Hopefully, hopefully, some female faces were cummed on. Always a great day when that happens. So I maybe I didn't, maybe I did. Speak with an individual who was employed with Apple, and I was speaking with this individual about some of my uh, security concerns involving my Apple device. And a lot of the points that I have been arguments, summations, points of arguments I've been making for quite some time that Apple is just not secure were, oh, were echoed by this individual. And basically, this individual said that the reason why, so like for example, if you guys have Androids, there are a lot of third-party security apps. I mean, you can get your phone, about 99.9%, secure with Android. There are just a lot of apps you can just get it secure as about as ever going to be. But with Apple, there's not a lot of the same apps. Is that not black for you, Froggy? Froggy, here, your daddy wants you. Your daddy's gonna get you, Froggy! Don't interrupt me again, Froggy, you bitch. Anyway, anywho, so basically, there are quite a few third-party security apps that are available on Android that are not available on Apple. And this individual, I'll call this person my Apple mole, I basically said because Apple thinks so much of its security that they just don't need all this extra stuff. This extra stuff. They're minimalists at Apple. They don't like extra stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell anybody who is considering getting an Apple or switching to Apple or getting an iPhone for anything other than just a backup emergency auditing phone, don't do it. Like, don't do it. I've been an Apple consumer for going on 3 years, 2.5 to maybe 3, a little over 3 years, and oh, I actually called you, bitch, and you were not answering your daddy. What the fuck is wrong with you? I know your wife's a cunt. My bad. And she needs some pork in her that obviously has not been fucking, occurring. Uh, and, anyway, so, basically, I'm at a point with Apple where I've called Apple hundreds, and I do mean hundreds of times. I have them all documented where I'm trying to get assistance with my security concerns. Okay, and some of those concerns, now I haven't had this happen since the iPhone 6, but like for example, if you can actually, turn your device on and off with your thumbprint, a reader or the home button, it's hacked into. And you immediately need to do a restore from iTunes. If I believe this is going to be something specific to the update. I believe 11.2 or .1 or .3, where on the iPhone 8 Plus, and I've had 3 of them now, and none of them will engage me to do a hard restart by depressing the volume button up, down, and then holding down the power button. So that seems to be something specific to the update I just mentioned. About 4 days ago, I had some things disappear from my keychain. That is an Apple product, and Apple claims, they swear up and down, that their keychain is encrypted. Okay, I still don't necessarily buy that. It may be encrypted, but somebody else has figured out a way around that. Man, I don't trust that bitch. I do not use Siri. She's been cheating on me for fucking years. That whore took the ice cube trays, bitch. Anyway, so basically, I had some things just disappear before my very little peepers from the keychain. And then through some other course of events have led me to believe that the keychain is either not as secure as Apple says. One, I know that to be. But two, this whole encryption thing, because basically if you have data stolen from your keychain, in theory, using Apple's logic, not my logic, because my logic would be just don't have an iPhone. But, I'm a moron for having an iPhone. But since I'm locked into a contract, I got to make the best do with what fucking rotten apples I have. You see what I did there? Rotten apples? So basically, if the keychain is encrypted, then even if one's data is stolen, then this third party shouldn't be able to actually get into it, okay, in theory. But, let's talk about the word encryption. Okay, basically that means that you have, electronical data that is supposed to be, scrambled up. It's kind of like eggs. It's all mismatched. It's all scrambled up, okay? So you have scrambled eggs, you have peppers, you have, cheese, mushrooms. You have different things in there that are all mismatched and don't make sense because that's, kind of what encryption is in the visual sense. So, I just think that some encryption is better and weaker than others. And you can have something that's a 256, I believe it's ASE, that's like military grade encryption. And you can have that top grade encryption, but you can have some other things that are, weak on the application or login or whatever, and then that grade encryption doesn't mean anything. Okay, it's null and void. So there's that. I've had, basically information just disappear from my iPhone, just poof, just be gone. And so I would call Apple, the engineering department, they would create a ticket. The senior advisor, they would create a ticket. It would be sent off to the engineering department. And basically the engineering department doesn't fucking know anything. And so currently I have a outstanding a ticket, I believe 2 tickets with the engineering department that's very crucial. And yet they haven't fucking responded to me. And there's some other things going on. If your screen dims considerably and you don't have your dimming function on, I would venture to say 9 out of 10 times your phone is hacked into, meaning a third party is watching what you're doing live on your screen. If you notice, I don't know if that's entirely accurate, the whole Australia thing, but if you Google, there's this whole thing involving AT&T. I think it was a San Francisco. Um, that they were using the Patriot Act. The fucking NSA had a whole floor in the AT&T building, I believe out in San Francisco, and they basically were diverting millions and millions of phone calls and text messages all right to the NSA under the guise of the Patriot Act. So that's kind of true, but you're a little misguided there, Froggy. A little misguided. It's okay. I still hate you. Go fuck your froggy mother. Oh, and always break off frog legs, saute in butter, salt and pepper, light garlic, and fry them up in avocado oil, and you're welcome. All right, moving on. So, the other couple things regarding the Apple is so this individual I spoke with, he said he said something very troubling to me. Well, she said said something very troubling to me, that this individual talked to a female who basically was going to commit suicide because her phone was so hacked into and she just couldn't take it anymore. And, this person tried to do the best that they could to help, and, she talked the person down from suicide. But, this individual may or may not, actually receive 5 phone calls, a week that are similar to my complaints, and yet Apple does nothing about it. Why don't you guys ask yourself? See, here's something else we need to get into. Ask yourself, why doesn't AT&T or Sprint or T-Mobile or Verizon or any telecommunication company, cell phone company, why doesn't Apple or Comcast or, any telecommunications company, why don't they have a dedicated anti-hacking department that is available to the public, where, say, you have a problem upon, your iPhone that you think it's fucking hacked into? Why doesn't Apple have a dedicated department so that you can get assistance with it? Because, one, from my experience with Apple, they have a plethora of governmental agents who are employees. And I believe that Apple, it's a part of arrogance, stupidity, and some of the key Apple staff members are involved with CIA, NSA, etc. And how I can make that accusation is, I'm not getting any assistance. I'm not getting any help upon legitimate security concerns, okay? And we're also talking about, a corporation as an Apple who had that whole fiasco, was it about, a month and a half ago, with the whole FaceTime fucking, a link, well, not link, but the whole FaceTime flaw. And Apple, a multi-billion-dollar a year corporation who has some of the most genius people, allegedly, didn't know about this problem. And I believe a 13-year-old from out in the Midwest, Oklahoma or someplace, actually discovered this and sent Apple a message, and then they're like, ooh, wait a minute, we have a problem. And so Apple is not secure. So do not be getting Apples. Apple is just a bullshit fucking corporation who does not care about you. And Tim Cook will wag his fucking gay fucking snowflake fucking finger at Congress and say, well, we're not letting you in this phone, FBI. But yet Mr. Swiney Poo calls and says, hey, you know what, this, and that. Oh, and by the way, your mother's fucking cunt smells, and help me. And they either call me crazy, or they don't help, or they tell me to call law enforcement, okay? So I call the FBI, and they say they don't investigate phone hacking. How does the FBI not investigate phone hacking? I believe that's a violation of the 1986-1987 Federal Wiretapping Act, but the FBI won't investigate. So you call your state police. Now, I don't know about any other state in the state of Illinois, but I know, excuse me, state of Indiana, that I've called my state police. They will not investigate my claims. They will not, actually hook my phone up to, any type of cradle or device. They won't do it. You call your county police, same deal. You call your local police, same deal. You may even get put on a mental health hold because, it's crazy talk. It doesn't happen. And so basically, then law enforcement, they'll tell you to call your carrier. Okay, so like I've called AT&T, I had Sprint, and then AT&T will be like, well, you need to call Apple. And so I call Apple, and it's just a circle fucking jerk. And I'm fucking chafed at this point. So basically, at this juncture, I believe I have enough evidence to sue Apple with basically fraud. I don't know if you guys remember, but I believe it was in February or March, that Apple came out. It was about for like 3 or 4 weeks. They did a little ad campaign where, they were saying that their Apple, as in, the whole Apple Corporation, is so secure. And, I have evidence that is just not the case. It's just, it's just bullshit. And, so, I'm going to sue Apple for fraud. I'm going to sue Google for something. I'm going to sue Microsoft for something. And I need to figure out a way how to sue the FBI, but that's going to be difficult because they have, basically they have investigatory, discretion. There's United States court, a Supreme Court case law that basically says law enforcement doesn't have to investigate anything they don't want to do. The other thing I want to talk about real quickly is, are you guys aware? I believe Walmart and I think Walgreens. I know Walmart for sure and maybe Walgreens, but they are changing the age in which to buy tobacco products from 18 to 21. I don't know if that is a state by state or a federal law. Yeah, but basically, so I'm surprised I haven't heard this on any radio shows or any online, any illegal platforms or anything. But I contend that, number one, after some lawyers actually sit down and they think about this, and, that they're going to start filing some lawsuits against Walmart and Walgreens and whoever else does this, because they're going to find some clients who are 18, 19, 20, and who are denied actually buying cigarettes or tobacco products, and they're going to start a class action lawsuit, is what I would suspect, because here's the deal. Now, if anybody can find any case law where I'm incorrect on this, please bring it to me. Send it to me, and bring it to me too. Bring it to me, bitches! That where private entities like Walmart can basically defy federal law. Now, so if you look at law, okay, for example, if they're going to sell tobacco products to 17-year-olds, they're breaking the law, okay, clearly breaking the law, right? But by raising the minimum age to 21, I would contend that they are breaking the law as well, because, these states, or if it's a Congress law, I don't smoke cigarettes, so I don't know if it's a federal law or if it's a state-by-state basis law, but basically, the legislator did not say that it's, you know, didn't say it's 21. So they put the 18 for whatever reason, but that's the age that they decided. They didn't say 21. They didn't say 19. They didn't say 20 and a half. They didn't say 22. They said 18. So if private corporations are going to be allowed to basically, in my contention, is they are breaking the law. And for all of those who are unfamiliar, I believe it's the supremacy clause, where basically states they can have equal or greater than laws, but you can't have less protection. Okay, but Walmart is not a state. Okay, Walgreens is not a state; it's a private entity. And to be honest with you, that does not even exist. You are spreading false fucking bullshit, and you need to go in timeout. You need to go in your little puggy corner. You cannot. No, you cannot create your own fucking laws. That doesn't work, especially on my fucking channel, bitch. There you go. Go in timeout. Go in the corner. What the fuck is wrong with you? And what the fuck do you know? You don't even know anything. Jesus, from the guy who has 1,000 froggies. What the fuck do you need 1,000 froggies for? Anyway, so I just foresee that there's going to be a lot of civil litigation on this issue. And then so basically, if lawmakers are allowing private corporations to disobey their law, then where does it stop? Like, does it stop where, a CVS says, well, you know what? You got to be fucking 21 to buy condoms. Or does it fucking stop where fucking, a Ben and Jerry says, well, you know what? You have to be at least 4.5 years old to buy ice cream. Or does it fucking stop where, where some, nursing home says, well, you know what? You got to be at least, well, that doesn't even, that'd be a bad example. It would have to be something that's a existing law. And I'm trying to think of a good example here. What? Why was she blocked out there, sir? Hey, Freedom, is there a reason why you deleted the Cat's Coasty PK? Is there a reason why you're doing that, sir? But, it just sets a very dangerous precedent to allow corporations to basically modify the law. It would be, I don't know of another, good example that would be comparable, because this is kind of a unique situation. And to be honest with you, I've never seen anything in the course of business that intersects with law like this, where a company says, you know what? I'm not going to follow the law, and I'm just going to modify it. Now, I don't see how Walmart is not breaking the law by raising the age to 21. Okay, because, for example, say if Walmart if they don't want to sell cigarettes, that is their prerogative. They can do that. If they want to say, no people that have green hair can't, that can't shop at Walmart, they can do that. as long as it stays away from race, sex, or religion. Okay, but you start, uh, actually modifying laws because you think it's the right thing to do. I just think that is a dangerous, horrible pathway to start going down. And then, some healthcare company or some pharmacy or some doctor's office or some insurance company or some, automobile, automobile manufacturer or some, somebody will figure out a way to see, whoa, wait a minute, Walmart did it. Why can't we actually change the law requirements and this, a thing here to save a few bucks or to do this or to do that. And, it may put people's lives in danger. There are laws for a reason. And, if a lawyer is smart enough to file a fucking federal lawsuit on this issue, this will go all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, because I don't believe there's any case law that says either way that corporations can or cannot do this. I would just suspect that it's a gray area and it needs to be defined, because, I want Walmart out of my business. And to be honest with you, I want the government out of my business. But I also am a law-abiding pig. And if there's a law, even if I disagree with it, I'm going to follow it and then petition, Congress or to do things to change it. But I do not want a private corporation, circumventing that law just because they feel like it. So, anyway, I'm going to read a few fucking comments. They're probably all fucking stupid and retarded. Let me see here. What do we got going on? What do we got going on? I can't see a lot of comments because they've been deleted. Who did that? That is egregious. Have another trip, sir? Why did you do that, Freedom? Why you be timing people out? I'm going to time you out. You're in timeout. Time everybody out. Everybody can just go sit in the corner tonight. Anyway, well, it looks like somebody timed